Let's be real. Getting tested for STIs shouldn't be awkward, confusing, or a hassle. That's why TBD Health is redefining sexual healthcare with judgment-free, convenient, and reliable STI testing, whether at home or in their Denver clinic. TBD Health was founded to make sexual wellness easy and empowering. Their at-home STD tests use the same top-tier labs as hospitals and doctors' offices, so you get accurate results without ever stepping into a waiting room. Need in-person care? Their Denver clinic offers same-day STI testing, birth control, ED treatment, and more, all with no insurance required. And the best part? Their clinicians actually get it. They're trauma-aware, sensitivity-trained, and fully inclusive. So no matter your identity, experience, or last night adventures, you'll be met with support, not stigma. Take control of your sexual health today. Visit tbdhealth.co to book a same-day appointment and order an at-home test. Welcome back to Pillow Talk, your intimate drag podcast where we talk all things sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But instead of rock and roll, it's more like a top 40s pop, maybe a little Ariana Grande.
Ooh, it's my girl. Oh, not too much.
Pillow Talk is brought to you by Denver Element. Denver Element is one of our main sponsors. They've been serving our LGBTQ plus community here in Colorado for over 15 years, giving us free HIV testing, PrEP referrals, mental health groups, community groups, Dungeons and Dragons groups. So make sure you check them out at denverelement.org and make sure that you check us out online. Following us at Pillow Talk Dr. Z, that's Pillow Talk DRZ, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google Space, Club Penguin, maybe not yet, but I'll get there. But we're going to have a good episode today, so pour up your nightcap, get into your BJs.
Girl, get into your BJs, honey. Yes. You almost had that script down. You almost ate that script.
I almost had it. Maybe a Freudian slip. I'm thinking about something else. Get into your BJs. This is Pillow Talk. And so get ready for some Pillow Talk with me, Dr. Zackarina, and our amazing special guest, Petty Patty.
Oh my God. Hi, hello, how are you?
Amazing. All of our studio audience is going crazy. They're doing the wave right now. It's just like, what?
Oh, that's all for me. I live, laugh, love that.
You do. And so we love you. And I'm excited to introduce Petty Patty to you all, America, the world, maybe the galaxies. I don't know where this is being played at. Petty Patty is one of the pettiest bitches in all of Colorado.
Ooh.
She is truly one of the best performers in all of the scene. She will eat any number down. Glee number, she's got all the words.
Oh, I'm going to eat it because I'm big.
Oh.
That's crazy, sister. That's nuts.
No, not that.
Oh.
She is truly one of the most iconic competitors from all of the Denver Drag Olympics franchises. She is the girl who competes all the time and eats every single time. A lot of eating.
Girl.
And you can follow her online at The Petty Patty.
Oh.
Everybody, welcome Petty Patty to the podcast.
Hello.
Patty, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited. Patty is one of my sisters, one of my dearest sister.
Hold space.
Boop.
I was like, if you don't hold space with me, but you do with Zamora, we're going to fight.
True.
I screenshot it. I said, so she's holding space with other bitches.
I do. I try to hold space with all my guests.
Oh, okay, period.
Boop.
Thank you.
With my no nails.
It's not as special anymore, but...
Hey. I mean, it's been a while. But once For Good comes out, then we'll hold other space. I don't know. I actually know nothing about Act 2.
I'm not going to tell you anything because I need you to be gooped and gagged. And don't do that thing where you try to read the synopsis of movies before you go into them. I don't want you reading anything.
That's my beige flag, is that I love to read spoilers. I will read spoilers while I'm actively watching a movie. I just want to know. This is Patty and I's biggest difference. Patty loves the horror genre. I love the idea of it. It's scary to me. So I read the synopsis and I'm like, whoa, that was a good movie. And then I never watch it.
Which is crazy, girl. You say that's a beige flag. That is a red flag to me. Because what makes it worse is that you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You want to be like, oh, well, this happened, this happened, this happened.
And then
And I'm
people
like,
feel
so how
they
do you know that
watched
happened?
it.
Because you didn't watch it. You just read it.
I think that's where it becomes a red flag.
Yeah.
Is that I then try to act like I've watched the movie.
It's nuts. It's crazy. It drives me bonkers.
But for Wicked, I went into the first movie fully blind. I knew like some of the songs, knew none of the context for Defying Gravity, only ever heard it before. And going into Act 2 and actively trying to avoid, I mean, I'm stumbling on a few spoilers, but they're like the big surface level ones. And so I am, going to try to be gooped and gagged for it.
Girl, you are. You're going to be gooped, gagged. It's going to be so good.
I just know there's a song for Good, and people are like, it's really good.
What gave that away?
Well, before the movie title got changed to For Good, someone said it.
Oh, okay, period.
Yeah, one time. But here at Pillow Talk, we always like to start our episodes with our guests sharing a pillow confession, which is some story that has to do with maybe sex, partying, relationships, all of the above, where they are maybe vulnerable with us. Maybe it's a silly story. Maybe it's an embarrassing story. Maybe it's a story where they learned a lot and grew as a person. So, Patty, what is your pillow confession for us?
So I thought long and hard about this because I had two that I was going between, and I couldn't really, pick one. But I think this one is the good one. This is the story of how my hookups lost my trust to let them use my bathroom.
Oh no.
Yeah, girl, it's terrible.
No.
Before I moved back to Denver, I was living in Colorado Springs for college. I'm a
First shop.
I know, girl, bad. I said I want to be away from my parents, but not like too far. So I went down there and I went to school for theater. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. 4 years and I didn't even finish. I dropped out after 4.
You're just weaponizing being a theater kid at that point.
No, literally, I'm weaponizing this student loan debt that I'm not paying off. But a lot of people down there are like not out of the, I'm gonna like preface this. Not a lot of people are like out of the closet. A lot of them are down low and just doing like a lot of stuff like on the side. So I was meeting up with this guy, and we were like texting back and forth, and he's like, "Hey, just to let you know, I'm kind of new to like experimenting these things." I'm like,
Okay.
"That's fine, girl. We all started somewhere. I'm never gonna be the girl because there's a lot of girls who will be like, oh, they're new. I don't want it. I need someone who knows what they're doing." I'm never gonna be that girl because we all start somewhere.
I love that.
We all start with a tip spot. You know what I mean?
Girl, you said I'll do the open stage.
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah, girl, that's fine. Like, come on over. We'll do what we need to do. So he comes over, and first of all, super cute.
Love.
Super cute. I'm like, oh, love this. I love training the newbies who are super cute. So he comes over, and we're like, we start with a little foreplay. We're kissing, we're making out, or we're watching the movie on the screen.
Of course.
We're not. We're cuddling, making out, doing the things.
Do you know what movie it was?
Oh, God. I think what makes it even worse, it was a Disney movie. Yeah, I know. Because I was like, we're going to start it slow and just watch something like that.
Yeah.
But we're making out. And he stops all of a sudden, and he's like, okay, so I want to go, get ready real quick. Because he came in with a backpack.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, so maybe he wants to try something new. He wants to be a little more...
Sets up a full, swing, sling set.
Yeah, fully. Like,
bedroom.
maybe like just a little lingerie set. I'm like, I've never had someone do that for me, but like, I'm down. Go ahead, go get ready. So he's like, okay, I'll be right back. Goes to the bathroom. And he's taking a little bit. So I'm like, so what's going on? I start to hear the sink run. I said, oh, okay, so maybe he's just tidying up a little bit. And all of a sudden, I hear I said,
oh, no.
So what's going on?
You're like, I need to investigate. Like, this is too much.
No, I sit there for a second. So I'm like, maybe because the way my house was set up at the time, it was a living room, and then the bathroom was connected directly to the living room.
Okay.
And we were making out on the couch. So, again, it just keeps going. It's just...
Oh, no.
And I said, oh, my God, is he prepping here?
Stop.
And girl, it is just going, and it is taking... he's probably in there for like 10 minutes.
Okay, not awful timing-wise.
But it's not the vibe, girl.
In the mood.
Not the vibe.
Hearing all of that. Hearing the gunfire shots.
Yeah.
The bombs being dropped.
Girl, it was nuts. And again... Mind you, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to give him a chance, but 10 minutes go by and he's still just going.
Yeah.
Finally, he stops. He opens the door, and it hits me right away, girl. Right away. I'm like, so there was just a bloodbath in my bathroom because I can smell it already, and you just opened the door.
Oh, God.
And so he comes out, and he's like, yeah, I don't think this is going to happen today.
Yep.
I said, so that's crazy because I was thinking the same thing. And so I'm like, hey, we can still like make out a little bit if you want, but we're gonna go do it in my bedroom. That's because that's a little farther away from the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
So we make out a little bit more, and then he finally leaves, and then I go into my bathroom.
Oh God.
And you know, as we all have those moments where like we have tummy issues. So like if you dirty the bowl, you give it a couple more extra flushes to get rid of the evidence. I go in there, girl, and it is. Did you ever do that arts and craft thing in elementary school where you had the marbles and you like put paint on them with the cardboard box and you kind of just shook it around? That is what the inside of my toilet bowl looked like. I said, so never in my life am I letting someone use the bathroom when they're over for a hookup again, because that was nuts.
Stop.
The cleanup was crazy. I said, I'm not doing this again. Never again.
Was the makeout session worth it enough?
No. Again, he was a rookie. He was new to the league. So I just had to be like, still like talking through that. And it was all too much. The whole experience was just 1 chop, 2 chop, 3 chop. Never again.
Done. No 10s across the board. Try again next ball.
You vary that.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl. So hookups will not be allowed in my bathroom. At least no longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I am honestly am astounded by that. If I were in that situation, first off, would not put myself in that situation.
No.
To prep at somebody else's place. If I'm going there, we're working with what we got. It's like studying for a math test. Studying on the way there, trying to get like one last look at your study guide right before you go in or while you're sitting before the bell rings. Nothing's getting retained. Either I know what I don't, either I'm prepped or I'm not.
I would have been less shocked if we would have started and like something happened there.
Right.
But for you to go tear up my bathroom for me to clean, because as soon as something's happening there, I can be like, whoa, we got to stop, we got to chill.
Yeah.
But you've torn up my bathroom.
Yeah.
I have to clean that. I got to get the Fabuloso out. I'm not doing that.
It's the stains on the toilet. It's the skid marks that I would be mortified.
Girl,
Like
I literally was like, it's too much. Why is the inside of my bowl an art project? I'm not.
Which in all of this is, and I think you had such a good point of someone once told me that if you're gonna play in the dirt, your sword might get a little muddy.
Exactly.
And that's just a fact of life, and that's amazing. And we all need to be respectful of that when engaging in anal sex. And when you're dealing with the toilet, you know you can flush a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
You know you can do what you got. Or, and as a pro pooper, as a girl a bitch that shit.
We know.
Oh, not so much.
Anytime, anywhere.
I've always been a girl with solid bowel movements and a good relationship with fiber.
And I love that for you.
Thank you. But I know that if I'm like, you know your body well enough. I remember, and I recently said this to somebody, I used to take a, oh God, what is it called? Physiology class, because throwback, that was my degree that I don't use. And one of the things that they said is the best indicator of your health is through your poop, because it will give you so much of a picture of what your gut health is going and all those things. So I know I'm very connected with everything that's going on. So I know, bitch, if I need to flush immediately, that was a snap. If I need to flush immediately to make sure nothing's hitting, nothing's staying, girl, double flush.
Yeah.
Flush a couple times, do what you got to do. It's not the like fact that there is poop is the problem. It's the fact that like you could have prevented. A skid mark is never fun for anyone.
You could have gotten rid of the evidence to know what was going down in here.
Yeah.
And like I was trying to like for the first 5 minutes, I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt because like I said, maybe he lives in a spot where he's like can't just run to the bathroom and get it all, let the water run clear before he gets here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe he's just doing one last little check.
Yeah.
But then 10 minutes in, then you come out, you can't do it. So I didn't even get anything out of it. Just a bad makeout session.
Yeah.
And a dirty toilet bowl.
I one time was hooking up or had gone to a person's place and had not prepped because I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not hooking up tonight. Because again, if I'm going somewhere, I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on for the most part. But when I got there, I was like, oh, I'm not like prepped or anything. So like not the best idea. And he was like, I've got an extra douche in the bathroom, an extra enema if you want to go at it.
Right.
And I know that there are a lot of people that do that, and there are a lot of people that like to do that, and people that want to do that and have that relationship, cool, go do it, whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna, because that's also kind of like an intimate time with myself. I'm like, I need peace, quiet, and to lock in, because it's not always a pretty sight.
No, it's or sound
or smell.
baby.
All the senses.
Thank you.
Sight, smell, not touch.
A girl with
Or
lips.
not taste. Not that.
Well, it depends on what girl you're asking, because some of the girls, they're nasty.
Oh God. My pillow confession that is similar enough ish is, well, again, I've never put myself in that situation where I'm actively douching at somebody else's place, but life happens, scat happens. Guess what? I'm just in the corner of the room scatting.
You like jazz?
I'm a scat queen. They're cuddled up like, please get out of my home.
You pull out your Liza wig. You like jazz?
That'd be fun. I think I need to do that. For me, not for them.
Please, you do that and then you tell them, I love you. Like you like to do, it's going to be a whole mess.
I think that would make somebody fall in love with me, though.
Oh, my God.
If I was like, let me slip into something a little more comfortable and come out in a Liza wig, that'd be fun.
It'd make for an excellent other pillow talk confession.
It would be amazing. Shout out Liza with a D, a local queen here in Denver. Liza, do you do that? Does a Liza wig say
partner?
I feel like she would be the funny girl to do that, though, and I would get a kick out of it.
I'm glad you think so.
Liza, call in. Let us know if you do that. I love my Liza with a D comedy queen sis. But I went over. I've never gone over to a guy's house and done something there, just because, again, I don't want to do that. I need my own time, my own peace. But one time I was hooking up with a guy who was my ex. First guy I ever dated. We had a really quick crash and burn of a relationship. Year later, I'm spiraling, and so I re-engage hooking up with him.
Yesterday.
I wish. That'd at least be more fun.
Girl.
I'm in a dry spell, but by choice. Men's choice. But by choice. And we were hooking up, and stuff started to go south. So he was like, hey, let's take a pause, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Hop in the shower, do whatever. We're cuddling afterwards, and I'm like, this is really nice. And he turns to me, and I'm lying. This is while we're actively having sex. Let me backtrack it. And then it goes to, let's pause, and then let's go back. But we're actively having sex, and he goes, by the way, I'm also talking with somebody else right now, and it's getting kind of more serious. So I just don't want you to expect anything out of this.
Actively?
As he's inside of me.
That is actually insane. And I hate men, because how are you saying I'm actually getting really close to someone else where you're quite literally the closest you can be with somebody, because you are inside of me at the moment.
We are literally one in this moment. And then because I was a mentally ill college kid that had not had enough relationships at this point, I didn't immediately stop it and say, get the fuck out of my home. It's not until we have to take a little break, and then afterwards we're cuddling. This is me being very vulnerable on the pod to let people know it's okay to have these moments of weakness with your ex, because then we're cuddling, and we had never gone on a date to Topgolf because we didn't book a thing, and so I was like, maybe we can go to Topgolf, and finally do that date. And he goes, I'm actually going to Topgolf with the guy I'm seeing.
And that's when you said, I've had enough.
No, he spent the night.
Oh my God.
Because I'm weak. And then he left, and then I was like, so I'm never doing that again. So at least I had enough wisdom afterwards where I was like, girl, pick yourself up.
But did you actually never do it again?
With him, but then I went back to the other ex.
Oh, girl.
Very quickly after. It was that was my, it was deemed by my friends as Night of 1,000 Spirals, because that was my summer. It was the summer of 1,000 spirals.
We all have that one, though.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Because it was post-COVID. I had turned 21 during COVID, and so then when I was able to start going out to bars, I was just feral. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, because COVID, I went into COVID starting to soft launch coming out, but then COVID hit, and then I was finally like, girl, I need to be a faggot. I need to just do this thing. So then I came back into the world post-COVID, more gay, and I was like, I got a lot of time to catch up on. I got a lot I missed, and so I was just feral for anything.
Oh, and you are. Look at you now, a faggot with a podcast.
Embracing my inner, unfortunately, white man.
Oh.
One of my coworkers, because I use any pronouns in and out of drag, he always says that I'm technically 1/3 man, 1/3 woman, 1/3 non-binary. So this is the 1/3 man coming out of wanting to do a podcast.
In your dress and your wig is the 1/3.
Girl, this week is the 1/3 non-binary.
Girl.
What are we talking about?
The one you brought up from your back and just put on top of your head.
Basically, I shaved it off. For the listeners that aren't seeing this, one, you can see video versions of this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, even their clips. But I am wearing a huge double stack, red Little Orphan Annie wig, basically. But in my mind, it's cute and cunty. But every time I wear it, every sister goes, "Okay, Little Orphan Annie."
Yeah, girl, it's interesting.
It's cute, but
is this one you did though?
I did.
That's impressive though. I will give you that.
I dabble in some wigs and whatnot, but not a Liza Minelli wig yet.
Ooh.
Would you do role play in a bedroom?
It depends on what the role play is. Like, you gotta have boundaries. Like, I would probably, I would probably do like some stepson, like, stuff for like coach and like player stuff. But like, if it's like, I don't know, some kind of weird, if you're doing a show or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're Garnet and I'm Pearl and we're I don't know, girl.
Steven Universe?
That's just the first cartoon that came to my head. That's my favorite.
Role-playing Steven Universe?
Girl, I don't know.
That would kind of be fun. Low key.
It's two people in dragon. It's Garnet and Pearl.
There's a script.
Let's make a fusion.
Wait.
Actually, I would do that one.
That would be kind of fun.
I think I lied. I would do that one.
I get what you're saying, though. I'm not doing doctor and nurse. I'm not doing like it would require a set. It would require a costume versus coach versus. I mean, coach is a little on the edge, but I think it's easier to work with. Stepson, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, step brother, I'm stuck in the washing machine.
See, the only thing that I'm afraid of with you, if you ever did something like that, and I sent this to you the other day, is that you do too much improv.
I do.
So you'd get in that situation and be like, yeah, I had a really long day at school. I was actually called a faggot and I was bullied all day today. And I'm actually really, really sad about it. And it would just be a whole bit like that. And you'd be like, so are we still gonna fuck or...
That's the thing is, if you're gonna do role play, you gotta lean into the yes and of it.
You don't need a backstory for that.
I mean, it builds, and this is in the clip. I think it's Matt Rogers, if I'm not mistaken, talking about it. But he's like, it builds, there's more like emotional layers to it. One time, and I have said this before, I think maybe with Calvin on his episode, but there was a guy I was hooking up with, and at first it was a little bit of like daddy, whatever, but then it started to get into him being like, call me dad.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a little harder for me.
Yeah.
But then I have a couple of stuffed animals, and when a man comes over, I hide those bitches under the bed. I throw them in the closet. I'm like, they don't need to see me in that position. They don't need to see me, Megan, one leg on the headboard.
Father figure.
Yeah. And so this guy, one of my stuffed animals was out, and he was like, grab your stuffy. And I couldn't engage with that. That was one of those, I was like, this has gone too far.
I would have done it, but only because I want to know why. Like, I would have been like, okay. And then as soon as he was like, do this with it, I'm like, no, I just want to know what you're going to do next.
I think it was he wanted me to just like have it, which there was a whole big controversy thing that happened where one OnlyFans creator had sex with a very twinky, young looking guy in a bed that had dinosaur covers. And it was a whole thing of discourse on the internet.
Wasn't he also wearing like a onesie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It was a lot of like kid imagery. And It's not just the like, oh, you just graduated from high school, freshman, even when they say enough of like barely legal, like, but also like there's something that's like they're 18. This was a lot of like, this is a child.
Yeah, no.
No, we're not fucking on dinosaur sheets.
I think the other reason I don't do a lot of role play is I don't like for sex to last that long. Sorry, sue me. I like to get it done. I don't want to be there. It gets all sweaty and musky and my apartment is just all messed up. Ooh.
And I feel like for a lot of people too, once you pass a point, it just will continue forever.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember I had one partner where if he didn't finish fast, he would never finish. And I was like, that's not fun for either of us.
Yeah.
You know? I do like a longer foreplay moment.
Yeah.
But in the act of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on a time crunch.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do this for hours on hours.
What's the longest you've gone?
I think it was with that one boyfriend, probably like an hour, not even an hour start to finish, including foreplay,
Okay.
but like a probably minimum 30 minutes of like active penetrative sex. And we both were just like, we gotta stop.
Yeah.
Like this is just going on forever. What about you?
Probably the same, probably about an hour, but even that sometimes feels too long to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, we gotta wrap it up. I gotta go get groceries. We gotta.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep. You gotta get out of my house.
Yeah.
Like we got places to go, things to see, people to be with, whatever. Yeah, I'm not really trying to have it last a really long time. I did, however, see a TikTok there's a panel of a bunch of like romance smut authors, and this one diva goes, bitch, bring back dry humping. She's like, we need more representation of dry humping in books, in media, and in real life. And I never felt so represented. I was
seen, validated, heard.
yes, I love dry humping.
You as a white man have never been so seen, validated, or heard.
I'm never represented in media. I'm not, Little Orphan Annie. I'm not represented in media. I don't see enough dry humping, except, where I do see a lot of dry humping?
Where?
My little vertical film drama box things that Patty
God,
hates.
I hate these drama box videos.
Patty hates them, but you've seen them on TikTok, you've seen them on Instagram. It's the my secret agent husband. It's the mafia prince. It's the I am falling in love with my dad's best friend, CEO, billionaire, secret, whatever. I buy those and watch them.
$20 a week every time you do it.
But then I usually get like 2 out of it. I'll watch like 2 for that $20. So it's like $10 for a movie. That's fair. Although this most recent one, it was a straight one that I watched. It was $30 for me to watch it. But the acting was really good.
Are you paying per week or per movie? I thought you were paying per week.
This one I had to pay per movie. It pissed me off.
So did you have to pay the $20 entry fee and the $30 for the movie?
It was like by episode, because they cut them up in the little episodes, and I had to pay by episode, and it ended up being $30.
Oh, girl, pack it up.
Yeah. But that role play, I think that stuff is hot. That's the stuff, and there's a lot of dry humping in those because they can't have sex because it's like movie kind of things. And so I love that. That makes me feel hot.
I love that for you.
Thank you. I also need your help, Patty.
Okay.
Patty is one of my best friends one of my best friends, but also one of my best friends who I go to for advice, because Patty has really good advice all the time. She is a wise human.
Allegedly.
And so I have a couple of questions that were submitted by our lovely viewers about what they should do in a couple of crazy situations. And our beautiful little column, Dear Dr. Zackarina, Dear Dr. Z, we need to give them some advice.
Love.
Can I ask your help to give some advice?
Absolutely.
And some of them are kind of crazy, so I think we can also give them a little bit of a come to Jesus moment of like, girl,
okay,
let's get our shit together.
You know me, I love a good come to Jesus moment where you can just be straight and be like, girl, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Whenever I'm asking Patty for advice, I'll say the whole situation and I'll go, am I being crazy? Please tell me. And Patty will.
I will.
Patty will tell me this part yes, this part no. Okay. This one is wild, and I do have a little bit of #lived experience around this topic.
Oh, Lord.
Dear Dr. Z, my best friend started dating my twin, and I don't know how to feel about it. My best friend and I are inseparable. We talk about everything, but now they're dating my identical twin. They swear they're not into me, but I literally have the same face as my twin. Last night, I heard them accidentally call my twin by my name, and now I want to disappear. How am I supposed to just act normal about this? Dr. Z, what should I do? Girl.
You had me until the end. At first, I was like, girl, get over it. If he says he does it, he does it. Because I have a set of twins in my family, and they are 2 completely separate people.
Yeah.
One I can't stand, and the other I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's so much fun.
Ooh.
Not like that. Not like that.
Right.
But like, I would rather hang out with one of them than the other.
Yeah.
Especially because one is a little more Republican than the other, but we won't get into that. But
twins with different political ideologies.
Love that. It was crazy. But yeah, and then the end hit where like he called their name. Girl, then you got to get rid of your best friend.
Yeah.
That's no longer your best friend. That's now your twin's partner. That's Sorry.
Yeah.
And if they don't like that, that's on them.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like, I have really good relationships with a lot of my immediate close family. So the idea of like cutting family out of my life, for at least close family, is not a thing that I would go first to.
Yeah.
So in this moment, I'm not sure if I'd be like, girl, cut your twin out and stay with your best friend, because it sounds like best friend is got their own shit that they're working on. My lived experience with this topic is that I've dated 2 twins before in my life. The first, not the same pair.
I was like, oh, wow.
No, because I have boundaries. And the first one was in high school. It was a girl I was dating. So sorry to her. Shout out. And she had a twin. Granted, they were fraternal. She was a girl. He was a guy. They looked nothing alike. So my favorite bit in high school was I would always do a joke of like, yeah, I'm dating a twin and I can't tell them apart. She's, has brown hair and he's 6'5". And I thought it was so funny. Didn't get a lot of laughs. Now looking back.
Girl, yeah. That's why it took us 2 times for a comedy queen, because some of them we got to workshop a little bit, babes. Just a little bit.
For context for viewers at home, if you listened to the last episode, you met Banana Splits, who is the current reigning Miss Mile High comedy queen. I did compete in that pageant. I did not win, did not get second. I got last place. And then I had to qualify for nationals, go and compete in another one. So I had to go all the way down to Phoenix. And did win Miss Canyon Diggit Comedy Queen. So I'm funny in Arizona. And so that was wild.
That's a new read. You're Arizona funny. Some of us are Mile High funny. Some of us are only Arizona.
Some of us are Colorado funny, and some of us are Grand Canyon funny. That was crazy. But the second twin I dated was a guy, and same identical twin, a little bit of couple differences, aesthetic differences, but identical twins, both gay. And that's like a whole thing genetically, that twins are very likely to be like gay together and stuff like that, whatever. And they both went to different schools, and they would have on their Grindr profiles, if you've hooked up with my twin, do not hook up with me, which I kind of respected, but also it was just, I don't know. Twin stuff doesn't feel, this is about to sound wild, doesn't feel natural to me. Twins, I don't like it. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. If you're attracted to one person and you're like, therefore I'm attracted to the other.
Yeah. It was also, I also understand where the twins are coming from.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was really close with this set of twins in my family. And because they are twins, everything is like, oh, you grew up wearing the same clothes because your mom wanted to be cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
They had you doing the same type of things. If one of you was doing baseball, the other one was also doing baseball because you were supposed to be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing that you don't want to be the same thing is
partners. Yeah, for sure. And there definitely are people out there that would like get into that, because I know there's a couple of like porn stars, OnlyFans creators that are twins and will have sex together, but not directly with each other,
like Eiffel Towering.
Yeah. And I don't like that.
That's too much for me.
I don't like that. If I had a sibling that was a twin, I would not ever want to see my sibling or my family in a sexual contact.
No, at all.
I think that's also where I'm going to go on a small tangent, where I get questions in my head when I see 2 straight guys that are best friends that love having threesomes together, where the only continuity is you two, but then it's different girls each time. That's got to be a little fruity.
You're gay.
Yeah.
You're gay. If you want to see your bro naked that often with another chick in between y'all, you're gay.
I don't get it.
Especially because if you're Eiffel Towering, you're always seeing him.
Yeah, you're not avoiding the other guy's wiener.
Yeah.
You might accidentally graze tips at one point too.
If you're Eiffel Towering someone out, oh my god.
Well, I mean, like if you're like switching off kind of thing, and you both go to the same side.
Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry.
If the bed is really close to a wall, and you're gonna, oops, sorry.
Excuse me. Just gonna squeeze in here. Sorry.
Well, and even things like a double penetration moment, you're both getting really close together,
True.
rubbing up a fire.
Yeah, creating sparks.
I don't know. So I think that type of stuff really confuses me. But then I think when people are like, I want to hook up with twins, guys or girls, straight or gay,
Yeah.
So then what's our advice for this person? Final comment is
Final thoughts for this one is drop the bestie. And also talk to your twin. Set those boundaries. Because, if you're not comfortable with that, you're also obviously going to have those issues with now your sibling.
Yeah.
So now you need to set up those boundaries with your sibling. Like, hey, I don't like this.
And you don't want that resentment
No.
to build. Because, again, that's that stuff of, like, if you don't tell people how you're feeling, how are they supposed to know fully, right? If we're not being 100% honest.
Not too much on me.
Oh.
Not too much. Not too much.
But also a little bit, too, of... if you're the twin and you're having sex with your twin's best friend and they say your twins, like that'd be enough warning signs where I'd be like, oh, well, as we've learned from my stories, I won't necessarily stop in the middle of it, but that's where after the fact I would go, not again, I would say next morning when you leave is going to be your last time.
Correct.
You have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
Oh. Yeah, so drop the bestie and have a talk with your twin.
Yeah. I have another one for you. Also another kind of sexual partner relationship situation.
For pillow talk?
I know, who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? My partner, dear Dr. Z, my partner asked to open things up mid-sex. We're literally in the middle of having sex, and my partner goes, have you ever thought about hooking up with other people, together or separate? This part's gaggy. I was still handcuffed. Now I can't stop spiraling. Do they want more sex or less of me? What should I do?
First of all, why is your partner doing this in the middle when you're still handcuffed? That's actually insane.
That's fucked up.
Because now you've quite literally put me in an uncomfortable situation where I can't get out of it.
Yeah, you're stuck.
That is crazy.
Maybe that was the tactic. Like, while you're stuck in this position, legs behind your head. Hey, can we have a serious conversation?
That is another red flag. Even besides the point that they just want to randomly open the relationship, the fact that they waited till you were so vulnerable, is nuts.
Yeah. And there's like emotions and tensions, and also like a lot of hormones at that moment, and so maybe they were thinking like they'll say yes immediately because they're hot and heavy right now.
Yeah, no, that's insane. My advice would be to first of all ask, like, so why did you wait till just now? That's crazy. Second of all,
I'm thinking about the Miss Ma'am she at the pasta dinner.
So why did you ask me if we could open the relationship? Honestly, that'd be me. I'd be like, so why? But no, I mean, we are in a day of age where like more people are doing that, so I think it is still an important conversation to have.
Totally.
Even if the way it was brought up is absolutely insane, still have that conversation.
Yeah.
Just so you can see how you feel about it, because that might not be something you've thought about until they were done being inside of you.
Right.
So you just need to have that talk about it.
Yeah. I think the like in the moment stuff, I have talked with partners during sex sometimes. Like, sex is fun, sex is weird, sex is like cringy, and it's not supposed to be perfect in porn.
Yeah.
So when like talking with a partner, giggling with a partner, like stuff like that, I think it's amazing. It adds that realness into it. The only time I've had something similar-ish where there's like, sometimes you can bring this stuff up in a sexual context, but it's not a conversation, it's more of a comment, is the like, ooh, I want another guy fucking you kind of thing. Like, next time, like, imagine if you were getting fucked by two, whatever, I'm like, then that's not really a conversation, and it's more just like a comment being said.
Yeah.
But the idea to have a full-on conversation mid-sex about something that's pretty important, and if I was in the middle of sex and somebody asked me for an open relationship, even if it's together or separate, it's not just like, what if we had sex with other people? I would immediately feel so insecure.
Yeah.
Because it's that, like, for me, my brain immediately goes to what right now makes your brain think of having sex with other people. Am I not good enough?
Yeah.
That'd be my thought. And then I would, like this diva, I would be spiraling.
Yeah, no, that's very fair, very real. I think, me personally, I think I wouldn't even be concerned about the fact of like, are they no longer enjoying this with me? I'd be just like, so why now?
Yeah.
Like, this is weird now. Can we have this conversation in a minute? Like,
yeah,
you're like 2 seconds away. I can feel you, like, you're throbbing. I need you to finish before we have this conversation.
Like, we could have done this before, and we could have done this after. Why during?
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Like, I would like to say I wouldn't be insecure about it. I might be, but like at the moment I would just be like, we're in the middle of something. Can we like finish first?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. It's worth a conversation. And also I think it's worth sharing those feelings of like, hey, I didn't really appreciate the conversation you initiated mid-set, handcuffed.
Yeah.
Not even just like not to be like vanilla sex, but it's not like.
You are quite literally the most vulnerable position you can be because you are locked up and cannot leave.
Yeah. Oh, I would get superhuman strength and rip those handcuffs
I
off
would
the bar.
turn into, what was it? It was a Netflix movie, I think, where like she was having sex with her husband and then he died or something.
Yes.
And then she had to like quite literally just break her hand to get through the hand. That would be me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we're not doing this, and just have 5 broken fingers and a wrist because I'm not in this position.
I didn't watch that movie, but I read the synopsis.
Oh my god.
It was a good movie. You guys should watch it. Okay, I got one more quick round for you of advice. Dear Dr. Z, my girlfriend wants us to get matching tattoos after 1 month. I've been dating a granola lesbian for just 4 weeks, and she suddenly suggests to get matching tattoos of our astrology signs intertwined. I hesitated, and then she said, if we break up, it'll just be a reminder of our beautiful journey. What should I do?
Don't do it. No. First of all, I'm not shocked that it's a lesbian.
Also, the adjective granola, too. I'm like, I know exactly who this is.
They're probably already living together at this point.
They probably have 17 intertwined astrological tattoos.
A pack of dogs. Yeah. Like, they're good. But absolutely not.
No.
That's crazy, because even the excuse of, like, it'll just be a reminder of our love. What if by the time we break up, we're ready to murder each other?
Yup.
That is just a reminder that this was the worst time in my life. Worst breakup ever. I don't want that.
No, I think there's so many layers to this. As somebody that does have tattoos, my fisting tattoo on my arm, woo, and then I do have a bunch on my leg, but you can never see them because I wear 17 layers of tights. I hate it when people are like, "Oh, tattoos have to have a meaning." Like, people will look at my tattoos and they're like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, "It was cool, and I wanted it on my body."
No, literally, I have. Well, I guess it kind of does have meaning because it's my favorite movie. But also, I have Ghostface with titties tattooed on my thigh. And I got it because, yes, I love the Scream franchise, but also it's Ghostface with titties. That's cool.
You wanted it. And I think when people are like, every tattoo has to have such a meaning, I get really, like, critical of it, where I'm like, okay, girl, chill out.
Yeah.
And then the idea of getting a tattoo, I'm so anti getting a tattoo with other people, period. Like a partner like that. I do have a matching family tattoo, but it's one of my sisters got a 1, one of my sisters got a 2, I got a 3 for birth order. And that's still, like, even if I had a huge falling out with my sisters, hopefully, fingers crossed, doesn't happen, knock on wood, but I'm still the third kid, you know? Like, it's still, that's a part of my life. And, like, astrological signs intertwined, kind of lame.
And also, what are your signs? Do they even intertwine like that?
Right.
Or is it going to look stupid?
Is this like the tattoo artist is pulling up the connection co-star and being like, girl, I can tell y'all this ain't going to end well.
That's crazy. No. Like, I wouldn't even just, like, I think the only person, same as you, I would ever get a matching tattoo with is my sister.
Yeah.
Because even if we fall out, that's still my sister through and through. So, like, I'm going to have that.
And, like, tattoo cover-ups are hard to do, you know, and it's just, yeah, the part of it'll be a reminder of our beautiful journey is also a weird thing to say, especially if the person that's asked this question is kind of expressing a little bit of to kind of double down and be like, no, it'll be so cute.
No, I could be married to a human, and I still would be like, no, that's crazy.
My parents,
I have a ring, I love you, that's it.
The court order says that we're together,
right?
Don't worry, Ziva. My parents just got matching tattoos. Granted, they've been married for over 20 years, and they're so intertwined together that even if they wanted to leave each other, they would not. So cute, love my parents. But they just both got like matching Celtic love knot tattoos, and it was funny. Immediately, all 3 of our children were like, yeah, but what if y'all break up? And they were like,
it's crazy to say to your parents.
Well, because that's the shit that they always said to us of like, what happens if this changes, or what happens if da 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 da. So we kind of got to hit them with the like, well, what if you guys don't stay together the entire time? And they're like, we think after raising 3 kids together and over 20 years of marriage, we would stay together, but I wouldn't do that.
No, never.
Because then I'm also, you have to compromise on aesthetic with each other, and what if you have different aesthetics?
Exactly.
I would not, if somebody was like intertwining astrology symbols, I would be like, that's not my aesthetic to use.
No, yeah. So my advice for that one is, please be fucking for real.
Yeah. In 1 month. 1 month, lest we forget.
Please be fucking for real.
I have had situationships last longer than that.
Thank you.
I have had...
talking faces last longer than that.
Girl, I have had food hyperfixations last longer than that.
Girl.
Much longer.
I've had wellness checks last longer than that.
Everything. 1 month is wild. Do not get anything matching. Get matching shirts. Get matching shirts at 1 month, girl. Get maybe a bracelet. Get a cheap Etsy ring with rose quartz in it.
If y'all want to be cute, get yourself that like rave candy and like do that little...
Yes, peace, love, whatever.
Faith, trust, and pixie dust, and pass it back and forth whenever you guys want. It's the same thing. It's
or
fine.
Just go fuck. Like,
Thank you.
Do something else if you want to be so united.
Just have sex.
Go on a hike. Go cook a nice meal.
Get dog number 8.
Oh my gosh.
Then you guys can split them evenly.
Yeah.
4 and 4.
4 and 4, and no dog down the middle. Yeah, that's the advice. The advice is don't do it.
Right.
The advice is don't do it.
It's a bad idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, Patty, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, I've had a blast.
Unfortunately, we're coming to the close of our podcast. We're going to say, oh. But now that you know who Patty is and now that you've all fallen in love with her, you can hang out, follow her online, and stay up to date. Patty, where can the kids find you?
You can find me on most socials at the Petty Patty. That's just, I should say the, because last time I said it, someone, they said the, so like 2 E's, right?
Girl.
I said, girl, no, like royalty, like the Petty Patty. So
yeah.
It's 1 E, the Petty Patty, on most social medias. On Facebook, it's just Petty Patty, because I'm that girl and can actually change my name on Facebook.
Oh.
But, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And if you're in Denver, if you're in Colorado, make sure that you check out Petty Patty's Instagram to see where she's at for the month, because her numbers... Again, I'm very biased. I love my Petty Patty, but she eats up a stage when she's on it. She tears it down. She dances. She knows all her words. Can't relate to that. Yeah. And performs so amazingly. So, Petty Patty, thank you so much for being here. I've appreciated it. I think y'all children got a lot of good advice from this episode and a lot of good stories. But make sure that if you want to hear more stories, you're following Pillow Talk with Dr. Zackarina online at Pillow Talk Dr. Z. That's Pillow Talk DRZ. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, all the things. We post new episodes every Tuesday so that way, you know, you got through your Monday, it was rough, and then Tuesday you have something to look forward to, right? So new episodes drop every Tuesday. Huge shout out to our title sponsor, Denver Element, for helping support us and having this season. Again, check out denverelement.org to learn about all the things that they offer, as well as Dude IDK Studios for filming, hosting this with us, and doing all of the editing and production and making us sound and look beautiful. Mm-hmm. So check out Dude IDK Studios if you haven't already here in Colorado, both for the fun events that they run and all the fun comedy shows, but also if you're interested in podcasting. But on behalf of our entire cast and crew and Petty Patty, my name is Dr. Zackarina Jenny Ho. Good night and big balls. Thank you.